Welcome to the Madison Miller Podcast. Today is Thursday, April 1st, 2021. Yes, it's April Fool's Day, and it's also Major League Baseball opening day. We're going to go over all 15 games on the slate today. We'll pick them all. NBA and NHL as well. We'll go over last night's games and look ahead to tonight's games in each sport. I will go over the odds for the Valero Texas Open, and I'll make a pick for that. My top 100 Major League Baseball players list. Latest news and notes. We'll recap last night's episode of The Masked Singer and my best bet of the day. All right, we're going to start in Major League Baseball where it's opening day. I can't wait. It's going to be so much fun. So I'm just going to go across the board. 1 o'clock, ESPN. It all kicks off with the American League East rivals between the Blue Jays and the Yankees. Garrett Cole, Hyunjin Ryu. Yankee Stadium, 20% capacity. So the Yankees get to play in front of their fans for the first time in about a year and a half. The Yankees are minus 168. The Blue Jays are plus 142. Over-under is 8. Over is minus 114. Under is minus 106. The Blue Jays plus 1.5 is minus 134. The Yankees plus 1.5 is minus 112. This is a tough one. I think there's some value on Toronto, but I just can't pick against the Yankees on opening day. I just can't. They're undefeated with Aaron Boone as manager on opening day. The under's a very tempting call at minus 106. But I don't like Toronto's bullpen this year. So I'm going to go over 8 for the full game. So that's going to be my first pick, and I think straight up the Yankees will win. I won't be shocked if they cover the the run line as well. I have hockey in my head. I apologize, guys. I won't be shocked if they cover the run line. But over 8, I think, is the best play. Garrett Cole pitched well. Yankees will get to Toronto's bullpen. Hyunjin Ryu, I think, will pitch okay, but not good enough for the Blue Jays to win. I don't trust that bullpen. So I'm going to go over 8 between the Blue Jays and the Yankees. Indians, Tigers, you got Shane Bieber and Matt Boyd. Indians minus 180, Tigers plus 152, over under 7.5, over even money, unders minus 122. Indians minus 1.5 is minus 114, Detroit plus 1.5 is minus 105. Ooh, this is a hard one too. I'm going to go Indians run line, minus 114. Don't love the pick. The case is that I think the Indians win by multiple runs. Shane Bieber pitches well. Maybe the Indians' offense gets to the Tigers' bullpen a little bit. 2 o'clock, you have the Orioles and the Red Sox from Fenway Park. John Means and Nathan Eovaldi. The Red Sox are minus 180. The Orioles are plus 152, over under 9.5. Over is minus 106. The under is minus 114. Orioles plus 1.5 is minus 130. Red Sox minus 1.5 is plus 108. I'm going to go right off the bat with an underdog here. I'm going to go with the Orioles plus 152 straight up. I like this pick a lot. John Means is better than Nathan Eovaldi at this point in my rankings for the pitchers preseason. I had Means at 64 and I had Eovaldi at 96. So I'm going to go with the underdog Orioles on the road at the Red Sox to plus 152. Twins, Brewers. The Twins are even money. The Brewers are minus 118. Over under 7.5. Over is minus 105. Under is minus 115. Twins minus 1.5 is plus 176. The Twins plus 1.5 is minus 215. Or the Brewers plus 1.5. That makes no sense that the Twins are favored on the run line, but are plus 100 to win the game. I'm taking the Twins plus 100. I think that's a good price. They're better than the Brewers all around. Maybe not in the pen, a little bit. Kenta Maeda is better than Brandon Woodruff. I have Brandon Woodruff in my rankings lower than Kenta Maeda. I have Kenta Maeda at 20. I think he should have a big year. And I have Woodruff at 75. So or 74, my bad. So that's a pretty big difference. So I'm going Twins even money on the money line. Pirates, Cubs, Chad Cole and Kyle Hendricks. The Cubs are minus 220. The Pirates are plus 184. We don't have the run line or the total yet. If the total is anything over 7.5, I'm taking the over. And if it's like double digits, I'm going under. If the Cubs run line is plus money, I might jump on that. But like I said, I'm probably going to bet the over. 3 o'clock, you have the Braves and the Phillies, Max Fried and Aaron Nola. The Braves are plus 104, or plus 106. The Phillies are minus 124, over under 7, overs minus 128, unders plus 104. Braves plus 1.5 is minus 215. Phillies minus 1.5 is plus 176. I'm taking the Braves plus 106. I like Aaron Nola and the Phils. Not this season, but I like Aaron Nola. I have Max Fried 16, Aaron Nola 9. Just trying to find value at dogs, so I'm taking the Braves. 4 o'clock, you have the Diamondbacks and the Padres. The Padres are minus 240. The Diamondbacks are plus 198. Over under 8.5. Overs minus 104. Unders minus 118. The Diamondbacks plus 1.5 is minus 106. The Padres minus 1.5 is minus 113. I'm going to go over 8.5 between the Diamondbacks and the Padres. I think that there's a chance that the Padres tee off against Madison Bumgarner a little bit. I could see this being a 6-3 game. The Dodgers at the Rockies, Clayton Kershaw and German Marquez. Kershaw's minus 225, and the Dodgers, Rockies are plus 188, over under 11, overs minus 114, unders minus 106. The Dodgers minus 1.5 is minus 150. The Rockies plus 1.5 is plus 125. I'm going to take under 11. That is way too high for opening day. I could see this being like a 7-0, 8-1 type of game. That's still on under. Cardinals, Reds, Jack Flaherty, Luis Castillo. The Cardinals are even money. The Reds are minus 118, over under 7.5, overs minus 102, unders minus 120. The Cardinals minus 1.5 is plus 172. The Reds plus 1.5 is minus 210. I'm taking the Cardinals as a even money underdog. I think their offense can the difference in this game. Nolan Arenado, Paul Goldschmidt. I like the Cardinals against the Reds. Rays, Marlins. The Rays are minus 138. The Marlins are plus 118. Over under 7. Overs minus 122. Unders even money. Rays minus 1.5 is plus 128. The Marlins plus 1.5 is minus 154. I'm going to go with the ballsy pick here. I'm going to go under 7. I think that this could be a 3-1, 3-2, 4-2 type of ball game. Worst case scenario, I push. Rangers, Royals, and by the way, I think the Rays will probably win that game. Rangers, Royals, the Royals are minus 162. The Rangers are plus 136. The Rangers plus 1.5 is minus 152. The Royals minus 1.5 is plus 126. Is Kyle Gibson and Brad Keller. Over under 9.5, overs minus 102. The unders minus 120. I'm going to go here. I'm trying to find Royals 5-inning line. I can't find that here. This is a hard one, guys. I'm going to go over at minus 102. I think that both these offenses could get a little something against the opposing team's bullpen, especially the Royals against Kyle Gibson, too. So I'm going to go over 9.5. I don't feel great about it. So that's my pick for this game. Now in the nighttime window, 7 o'clock, you have the Mets and the Nationals. By the way, Dodgers Rockies is on ESPN. Mets Nationals, obviously, too. And that's the big one with Matt Vasgersian, Alex Rodriguez, Buster Olney. The best game on the board, too. You have DeGrom and Scherzer. DeGrom's minus 154. Scherzer's plus 130. Over under 6.5. Overs minus 138. Unders plus 104. Mets minus 1.5 is plus 120. Nats plus 1.5 is minus 144. The Nationals are a sexy underdog here. But Jacob DeGrom and the Mets always perform on opening day. The over's kind of juiced. Kind of like the under here at plus 104. I think that's where the value lies. Obviously, it's the DeGrom and Scherzer. I think that this could be a 3-2, 4-2 type of ball game. 10 o'clock, you have the White Sox and the Angels. Lucas Giolito, Dylan Bundy. The White Sox are minus 112. The Angels are minus 104. Over under 8. Overs minus 115. Unders minus 105. White Sox minus 1.5 is plus 150. Angels plus 1.5 is minus 182. I love the White Sox on the money line at minus 112. That's crazy that they're only that slight of a favorite. They're way better than the Angels. I would take the White Sox on the run line too, but I'm taking them on the money line to just be safe. 10 o'clock ESPN, you have the Astros and the Athletics. The Astros are minus 102. The A's are minus 104. Over under 8. Overs minus 122. Unders plus 100. Astros minus 1.5 is plus 168. A's plus 1.5 is minus 205. In my pitcher rankings, I have Chris Bassett at 58. And Zach Greinke at 40. But I like the A's. I'm just going to lay the big juice of minus 116 with the Athletics against the Astros. I just think they're better. I like Matt Chapman, Matt Olson. They're poised for big seasons. These guys have had success against Greinke. They know him. So I'm going to lay the minus 116 with Oakland. And last but not least, the Giants and the Mariners. The Giants are minus 116 favorites. The Mariners minus 102 dogs. Over under 8. Overs minus 118. Unders minus 104. Giants minus 1.5 is plus 134. The Mariners plus 1.5 is minus 162. Marwin Gonzalez in my pitcher rankings this year is 75. Meanwhile, Kevin Gausman is 89. I'm going to take the dog here at the Mariners minus 102. I just think that home opener, I don't like Kevin Gausman. Marco Gonzalez, I think can have success against a weak Giants lineup, so I'm going to go Mariners minus 102 against the San Francisco Giants. So there are your opening day picks for 2021. Now we'll move on to the NBA. We'll look back on what was a busy night last night in the association, and we'll look ahead to what is a solid Thursday window with 7 games on the docket. Blazers over the Pistons, 124-101. Best bet was a winner. I had Portland minus 7 as the best bet. Portland is 29-18. Detroit 13-34. Damian Lillard had 33 points and 10 assists. Jeremy Grant had 30 for the Pistons. Heat over the Pacers, 92-87. The Heat are 24-24. Indiana 21-25. Duncan Robinson had 28 boards for Miami. Miles Turner, 15 for Miami. Mavericks over the Celtics, 113-108. The Mavs are 25-21. Boston, 23-25. Luka Doncic had 39 points, or 36 points for Dallas and 5 assists. Jason Tatum had 25 and 9 for Boston. Nets over the Rockets, 120-108. Brooklyn is 33-15. Houston's 13-34. Kyrie Irving had 31 and 12 for Brooklyn. Kevin Porter Jr. had 20 and 6 assists for Houston. Timberwolves over the Knicks, 102-101 on a game-winning shot by Mikal Beasley. Minnesota's 12-36. New York is 24-24. Anthony Edwards, 24 points for Minnesota. Julius Randle had 26, 12, and 6 for the Knicks. Jazz over the Grizzlies, 111-107. The Jazz are 36-11. Memphis 22-23. Mike Conley had 26 for Utah with 7 assists. John Morant, 36 points and 7 assists for Memphis. Thunder over the Raptors, 113-103. The Thunder are 20-27. Toronto's 18-30. These two teams are flat out tanking now. Safai Mahaluk had 22 for Oklahoma City. Gary Trent Jr. had 31 for Toronto. Spurs over the Kings, 120-106. The Spurs are 24-21. Sacramento 22-26. DeMar DeRozan had 26 points and 7 assists for San Antonio. De'Aaron Fox had 20 for Sacramento. Bucks over the Lakers, 112-97. The Bucks are 30-17. The Lakers 30-18. Drew Holiday had 28 for the Lakers. For the Bucks. What am I saying? Montrezl Harrell had 19 for the Lakers. Now Andre Drummond got hurt in his first game as a Laker too, which is yikes. Suns over the Bulls, 121-116. The Suns are 33-14. The Bulls are 19-27. Devin Booker had a whopping 45 points for the Suns. Nikola Vucevic had 24-10 for Chicago. Small window for tonight. First up, 7 o'clock, the 76ers and the Cavaliers. I project Philly 16.5, total 219. Meanwhile, it's Philly 9, total of 213. I'm laying the 9 with the Sixers. I know, no Embiid, but Ben Simmons is there. Tobias Harris is playing well. So I am laying the 9 with Philly. Wizards Pistons, I'm at Wizards 9, total 226. Meanwhile, it's Wizards 3, total 224.5. It's crazy that they're finally adjusting these Wizards totals. I think it says more about Detroit than it does about Washington. I'm laying the 3 at the Wizards. Let's see if Bradley Beal is playing, but last I checked, he did not have a red X by his name for the Wizards. He is questionable, so there's a chance he plays, so I'm going to lay the 3 with the Wizards, assuming he plays. 7:30 TNT. Hornets Nets. It's too bad for TNT because they put this game on TNT strictly because of one LaMelo Ball, but that one LaMelo Ball is hurt. Sorry. But anyway, I project Brooklyn by 8.5 total 229, and that is presumptively without Kevin Durant and James Harden. And it is Brooklyn 3.5 total 229.5. That is very low. I'm laying the 3.5 with Brooklyn. Kyrie Irving's the best player on the court in this game. He carried them against the Rockets. I think he carries them again here. So I'm going to lay the 3.5 for Brooklyn at minus 114. Obviously, no LaMelo for Charlotte is a factor as well. By the way, if LaMelo was there without Harden and Durant, this would be Brooklyn 5.5. 8 o'clock, you have the Warriors and the Heat. My projection is Miami by 3 total to 20. Meanwhile, it's Miami by 3 total to 19.5. This is darn close. But for the sake of the podcast, I'm not betting this. I'm taking the over to 19.5. Magic Pelicans. I'm at New Orleans 10 total to 22.5. Meanwhile, it is New Orleans 10 total to 21. Close numbers. No Zion in this game. And obviously the Magic traded all their players away. For the sake of the podcast, I'm not going to bet it, but I'm taking the over. Because my numbers are too close. 8:30 Hawks Spurs. I'm at Hawks 1 total to 22. Meanwhile, it's Spurs 1 total to 22.5. I'm taking the Hawks plus the 1 and minus 102 on the money line. And last but not least, 10 o'clock TNT, the Nuggets and the Clippers. I'm at Denver 1 total to 24.5. Meanwhile, it's Denver 1.5 total to 225. My numbers, again, are very close. But for the sake of the podcast, I'm taking the under. No Paul George is a big deal. So I'm taking under 225 for the sake of the podcast. Not going to bet it. So that's 3 games on here. That is for the sake of the podcast, which is pretty rare that my numbers are so close to what the market has. But here we are. Now I'm going to go over the NHL games from last night and look ahead to what is a busy window for the National Hockey League for tonight. Sabres over the Flyers 16-1. It's finally over. The losing streak, 18 straight losses. It's over. Buffalo 7-23-5 on the season. Philadelphia 17-14-4. The number 3 started game with 2 assists for the Sabres. Jacob Bryson, the number 2 started game with 2 goals. Brandon Montour, the number 1 started the game with a goal and an assist. Stephen Fogarty. Maple Leafs over the Jets 3-1. The Leafs are 23-10-3. Winnipeg 22-13-2. So I was wrong about this pick. Number 3 started game with a goal. Josh Morrissey. The number 2 started game with 2 assists. Mitch Marner. Number 1 started game with a goal and assist. Austin Matthews. Avalanche over the Coyotes 9-3. As the Avalanche put on an avalanche. They're 23-8-4. Arizona 16-15-3. Number 3 started game with a goal and 2 assists. Mikko Rantanen, number 2, started game with 2 goals and an assist. Gabriel Landeskog, number 1, started the game with a hat trick and an assist. And all the goals were in the first period, by the way. Jonas Donskoy. Kings over the Golden Knights 4-2. An impressive win for LA. I considered picking them on the money line last night, but I decided to go with the under, but that didn't work out. LA is 14-14-6. Vegas is 24-9-1. Number 3 started the game with a goal and assist. Shea Theodore, number 2, started the game with a goal and an assist. Andreas Athanasiou. And then number 1 started the game with 40 saves on 42 shots. You got the goalie of the Kings, Calvin Peterson, who has been starting for them, which is amazing for them. So, yeah, the Kings have just been playing great hockey. And the Sharks over the Wild 4-2. The Sharks are 15-16-4. Wild 21-11-2. Number 3 started the game with a goal for the Sharks. Nikolai Knyzhov, the number 2, started the game with 2 assists. Thomas Hertl, number 1, started the game with 2 assists. Brent Burns. Flames Canucks got postponed because there are some COVID issues going on with Vancouver. Bigger window for tonight. 7 o'clock, you have the Rangers and the Sabres from Buffalo. I thought the game was being played at the Garden, but I was wrong. The Rangers are minus 240. Buffalo's plus 198. Over under 5.5. Overs minus 134. Unders plus 110. Rangers minus 1.5 is plus 118. Buffalo plus 1.5 is minus 142. I'm going to go with the Rangers on the puck line. Minus 1.5 is plus 118. The Rangers are playing good hockey lately. They had 2 hiccups against the Capitals and the Flyers, respectively. But I think that they're on the right track. Maybe they'll make this playoff race a little bit more interesting. So I'm going to take the Rangers minus 1.5 and plus 118 against Buffalo. Penguins, Bruins. The Bruins are minus 132. The Penguins are plus 112. Over under 5.5. Overs minus 104. Unders minus 118. Bruins minus 1.5 is plus 188. Penguins plus 1.5 is minus 230. I'm taking the Penguins plus 112 straight up. They're playing good hockey. It would not shock me if they won this division, so I'm going to take the Penguins plus 112 against the Bruins. The Capitals and the Islanders. Arguably the best 2 teams in this division. But I think it's the Penguins and the Capitals, not the Islanders and the Capitals. The Islanders are minus 132. The Capitals are plus 112. Over under 5.5. Overs minus 104. Unders minus 118. Capitals plus 1.5 is minus 240. Islanders minus 1.5 is plus 195. I'm taking the Capitals as a road dog as well. I think Vitek Vanecek will bounce back after the loss against the Rangers, so I'm going to take the Capitals plus 112 as a dog at the Islanders. Blue Jackets, Lightning. The Lightning are minus 320. The Jackets are plus 260. Over under 5.5. Overs minus 104. Unders minus 118. The Blue Jackets plus 1.5 is minus 110. The Lightning minus 1.5 is plus 1 or minus 110. This is tough. I'm going to go with the over. I think that the Lightning offense will bounce back. And I think that Columbus will score some goals as well. I think this is going to be an empty net disguised game. The Red Wings and the Panthers. The Panthers are minus 1 or minus 280. The Red Wings are plus 230. Over under 5.5. Overs minus 115. Unders minus 105. The Red Wings plus 1.5 is minus 122. The Panthers minus 1.5 is plus 102. I'm going to lay the puck line with the Panthers. I know the Red Wings have been competitive lately, but they're trash. So I'm going to lay the puck line here, plus 102 at the Panthers, minus 1.5. Canadian Senators. So the Canadians are back on the ice. Good for them. The Canadians are minus 196. The Senators are plus 164. Over under 6.5. Overs plus 104. Unders minus 128. The Canadians, -1F is +116. The Senators, +1F is -140. I'm going to go with the Canadians in regulation at -125. They're back from COVID. Carey Price and net. I think that they can close them out in 60. So I'm going to lay the -125 Canadians in regulation. The Stars and the Predators. The Stars are -132. The Preds are +112. Over under 5.5. Over is +136. Under is -168. Dallas -1F is +202. The Preds +1F is -250. I was talking with my buddy Brian Sanborn, who I need to have on the podcast. He likes the Stars tonight. I don't know if I agree with him. I like how this Nashville team's playing. I'm going to take the Preds +112 as a home underdog tonight. NBCSN tonight, the Hurricanes and the Blackhawks. The Canes are -164. The Blackhawks are +138. Over under 5.5. Over is -134. Under is +110. Canes -1F is +146. The Blackhawks +1F is -178. I'm going to continue to ride the underdog here at the Blackhawks. They've done me really good this season. They're playing good hockey right now. I'm going to take them again against the Canes tonight. And last but not least, 10:30 NBCSN, the Wild and the Golden Knights. So a good doubleheader tonight. The Knights again, -176. The Wild +148. Over under 5.5. Over is +104. Unders -128. Wild +1F is -178. The Knights -1F is +146. I'm going to go with, ooh, this is a tough one here. The Wild are playing good hockey. I like that team a lot. But, I think this is a bounce-back game for the Golden Knights. So I'm going to take the Golden Knights in regulation at -110. So that's where I'm going. I'm going to lay the -110 in regulation with the Vegas Golden Knights. Now I'm going to go over odds for the Valero Texas Open. It begins today. There's some guys that I have in mind. Jordan Spieth is a 10-1 favorite. Tony Finau's 12-1. Scotty Scheffler's 14-1. Abraham Ancer and Hideki Matsuyama are 18-1. Corey Connors 20-1. Charlie Hoffman and Ryan Palmer are 27-1. Brendan Steele's 29-1. Cam Triangle and Siwoo Kim 31-1. Cam Davis and Chris Kirk 37-1. Lanto Griffin, Matt Kuchar, Sam Burns 41-1. Brandon Grace, Keegan Bradley, Zach Johnson 45-1. Adam Hadwin, Andrew Putnam, Harry Higgs, Ricky Fowler 55-1. Charles Howell, Harold Varner, Joel Dahman, Sepp Straka, 60-1. 65-1, Aaron Weiss, Bayong Honan, John Huh, Matt Wallace, Ryan Moore, Sebastian Munoz. They're all 65-1. 70-1, Danny Willett, Doug Gim, Gary Woodland. 80-1, Sam Ryder, Phil Mickelson, Jonathan Vegas, Adam Long, Eric Van Rooyen. 90-1, Cam Champ, Lucas Glover, Matthew Neesmith. Luke List is 100-1. Now I'm just going to go through notables. Russell Knox 100-1. Doc Redman 120-1. That's wild. Henrik Norlander 150-1. Adam Schenk is 190-1. There's some good long shots here. But my pick here, I'm going to go with somebody that I think has a chance to win this tournament. He's been having some moments this year. I'm going to go with Adam Hadwin at 55-1. I don't feel super about it, but I think it's good value on someone who I think is a fine golfer. Now I'm going to do my top 100 MLB Players List. This was an interesting list to put together. mix of players, and I have 4 honorable mentions. My 4 honorable mentions are Salvador Perez of the Royals, Marcus Semien of the Blue Jays, Ozzy Albies of the Braves, and Jorge Polanco of the Twins. Close, but no cigar. So here you have it. Top 100 players for the 2021 MLB season. 100, Wilson Contreras, Cubs. 99, Will Smith, Dodgers. 98, Yasmani Grandal, White Sox. 97, Rhys Hoskins, Phillies. 97, Gary Sanchez, Yankees. 95, Brandon Lau, Rays. 94, Hyunjin Ryu, Blue Jays. 93, Mike Moustakas, Reds. 92, Shohei Ohtani, Angels. 91, Giancarlo Stanton, Yankees. 90, Jose Ramirez, Indians. 89, Patrick Corbin, Nationals. 88, Mike Yastrzemski, Giants. 87, Nick Castellanos, Reds. 86, Michael Brantley, Astros. 85, Clint Frazier, Yankees. 84, Randy Arozarena, Rays. 83, Jeff McNeil, Mets. 82, Ramon Laureano, Athletics. 81, Lance Lynn, White Sox. 80, Michael Conforto, Mets. 79, Josh Donaldson, Twins. 78, Marcelo Zuna, Braves. 77, Nelson Cruz, Twins. 76, Steven Strasburg, Nationals. 75, Josh Bell, Nationals. 74, Paul DeJong, Cardinals. 73, Ian Anderson, Braves. 72, Zach Gallen, Diamondbacks. 71, Frankie Montas, Athletics. 70, Dallas Keuchel, White Sox. 69, Rafael Devers, Red Sox. 68, Gleyber Torres, Yankees. 67, Tim Anderson, White Sox. 66, Trey Turner, Nationals. 65, Kenta Maeda, Twins. 64, Julio Urias, Dodgers. 63, Vladimir Guerrero Jr., Blue Jays. 62, Liam Hendricks, White Sox. 61, Josh Hader, Brewers. 60, Kyle Hendricks, Cubs. 59, Sean Manaea, Athletics. 58, Yohan Moncada, White Sox. 57, Bo Bichette, Blue Jays. 56, Corey Seager, Dodgers. 55, Peter Alonso, Mets. 54, Anthony Rizzo, Cubs. 53, Chris Bryant, Cubs. 52, Max Kepler, Twins. 51, Joey Gallo, Rangers. 50, Max Fried, Braves. 49, Luis Castillo, Reds. 48, Danielson Lamet, Padres. 47, Eloy Jimenez, White Sox. 46, Javier Baez, Cubs. 45, Carlos Correa, Astros. 44, Charlie Blackmon, Rockies. 43, Jose Altuve, Astros. 42, Whit Merrifield, Royals. 41, Yu Darvish, Padres. 40, Trevor Bauer, Dodgers. 39, Clayton Kershaw, Dodgers. 38, Xander Bogaerts, Red Sox. 37, Matt Olson, Athletics. 36, Jack Flaherty, Cardinals. 35, Ketel Marte, Diamondbacks. 34, Aaron Nola, Phillies. 33, DJ LeMahieu, Yankees. 32, Lucas Giolito, White Sox. 31, Tyler Glasnow, Rays. 30, JD Martinez, Red Sox. 29, Eugenio Suarez, Reds. 28, Luis Robert, White Sox. 27, George Springer, Blue Jays. 26, Mike Soroka, Braves. 25, Walker Buehler, Dodgers. 24, Jose Abreu, White Sox. 23, Matt Chapman, Athletics. 22, Bryce Harper, Nationals. 21, Manny Machado, Padres. 20, Paul Goldschmidt, Cardinals. 19, JT Realmuto, Phillies. 18, Max Scherzer, Nationals. 17, Trevor Story, Rockies. 16, Shane Bieber, Indians. 15, Aaron Judge, Yankees. 14, Anthony Rendon, Angels. 13, Alex Bregman, Astros. 12, Nolan Arenado, Cardinals. 11, Francisco Lindor, Mets. 10, Christian Yelich, Brewers. 9, Ronald Acuna Jr., Braves. 8, Freddie Freeman, Braves. 7, Fernando Tatis Jr., Padres. 6, Jacob deGrom, New York Mets. 5, Garrett Cole, New York Yankees. 4, Juan Soto, Washington Nationals. 3, Cody Bellinger, Los Angeles Dodgers. 2, Mookie Betts, Los Angeles Dodgers. And number 1, if there wasn't any doubt, Michael Trout, Los Angeles Angels of Anaheim. He's the best player in baseball until further notice. No one start planning him probably over the next 3 to 4 years. Betts and Bellinger, pick your poison. They're both fantastic. I think Bellinger bounces back. Juan Soto's a superstar. You could argue him for the top 3. Garrett Cole, Jacob deGrom, pick your poison. But I'm going to go with Garrett Cole over Jacob deGrom because Jacob deGrom's always good for one injured list stint a season. And Garrett Cole has not gotten hurt since he was on the Pirates. Fernando Tatis Jr. is a freaking awesome young player. Pick your poison with those Brave stars. And Christian Yelich, I think, is going to have a big bounce-back season in 2021 here. All right. Now I'm going to do my latest news and notes for today. Unfortunate news that the Nationals have a positive COVID test. Then there are 4 players that were in close contact with the player. We'll see when their starting lineup comes out who that player is or could be. That is not a good start to the season, obviously, for baseball after having a clean spring training. And it's just bad timing for a COVID test. I will never forget last year, Juan Soto tested positive on opening day before their game against the Yankees. And it was a big deal, and they luckily didn't cancel the game. They got the game in, and the Yankees wound up winning that game. And they would have won that game regardless because Garrett Cole's just awesome. And maybe the Nationals will score a little bit more, but no. They were not winning that game regardless. And you could argue the same thing for today. They're not winning today regardless because Jacob deGrom's the best pitcher in the National League. I mean, that could be the case. We'll see. With more information comes out, I'll give it to you. I talked about Andre Drummond getting injury. He got stepped on by his toe, and the injury was really bothering him, and he'll be reevaluated today. So we'll see how that goes down. I talked about Jonas Donskoy with the hat trick in the first 7 minutes. That was pretty neat to see. Breaking news from last night that Francisco Lindor agreed to a 10-year, $341 million deal with the Mets. That's something that had to get done. That takes a lot of pressure off the Mets now. And good on Steve Cohen and the front office for getting that done. They had to get it done. They gave up not a lot to get him, but they had to re-sign him because if they let him walk as a free agent, that's a disaster. You can't do that. So, a big-time extension for baseball's best players, or one of baseball's best players. Paige Becker's got the AP Women's Player of the Year award as the first freshman to win the Basketball Player of the Year. She got a little emotional. She's awesome. I think she's the best player in college basketball on either side, if you ask me. This girl's very special. And she's going to be the best player in the WNBA in no time once she's drafted there. And speaking of UConn, on the men's side of things, James Bouknight is entering the draft. He's number 18 in the ESPN Top 100 NBA draft rankings. So he's projected to be a first-round pick. So that's a big loss there for UConn. And one more draftee, Oklahoma's Austin Reeves. He is 40th, so he's projected to be a second-round pick. 2 more lawsuits were filed against the Texans' Deshaun Watson, pushing total to 21. This is insane. I don't know if this is how real this is, but 21's a lot, and they got to get this taken care of. And obviously, Deshaun wants out of Houston. I think he'll be on another team, probably San Francisco, because they currently own the number 3 pick in the draft right now, not Miami. So, we'll see about that. Daniel Snyder takes 100% control of the Washington professional football team as the NFL owners unanimously approved Daniel Snyder's purchase of the remaining 40.5% of the franchise from its minority owners. He's one of the worst owners in sports. I'm sorry. This is probably not exciting to Washington fans. I know there are rumors that either is going to sell the Redskins or the professional football team, I should say. I need to get that out of my head that they're not by that name anymore. They go by the football team. I just call them the Washington Professional Football Team because that's Bill Simmons, what he came up with, but I just took it from him. But yeah, the Washington Professional Football Team, 100% owned by the worst owner in the NFL, Daniel Snyder. Joel Embiid expected to return on Saturday against the Timberwolves after nursing the knee injury. If he doesn't miss any more time, maybe he could steal the MVP award. I don't think he should win it. I think it should be either Giannis Antetokounmpo or Nikola Jokic, depending on how their team's seasons play out. And you can't rule out Damian Lillard. The Blazers are playing great basketball. You can't count out Dame. If we're talking about Nikola Jokic, and we have to be talking about Damian Lillard. I'm sorry, that's just facts. And I think that Giannis should be favored right now because the Bucks are playing great basketball, and he's the big reason. And I think he wants the 3-peat, but I don't know if the media will accept that. You also have Kyle Lowry out 7 to 10 days with the foot infection. Obviously, a lot of teams wanted to acquire him at the deadline. Maybe he had this foot infection for a while. So, that's like a what if there. But, yeah, the Raptors are, you could argue, are trying to tank. Because he said yesterday and they out-tanked Oklahoma City just for sitting Kyle Lowry. Zion avoided a major injury, and there are fears that Zion would miss multiple weeks with a sprained thumb, but he stayed today, so that is good news for the Pelicans. Another couple draftees. We talked about Bouknight and Reeves. Zaire Williams to the NBA draft. So the Stanford freshman announces that he is declaring for the draft. He's a projected lottery pick. And the other one headed to the draft is Joshua Christopher of Arizona State, as he declares for the draft. We talked about Flames Canucks getting postponed after 2 Canucks players were added to the COVID-19 list. We'll see if this is another Canadian situation or a one-game thing. We'll find out sooner rather than later. No suspension for Connor McDavid after he was fined the maximum $5,000 for elbowing Jesperi Kotkaniemi in the head. So the Canadians have him back. But I never thought of it. Oops. Talked about Lindor. We talked about the Nationals COVID test. George Springer to the injured list with a grade 2 strain on his left oblique. That is a big loss for the Blue Jays offense. The Blue Jays offense is awesome, even without Springer. But that is just still a big loss, both offensively and defensively. Breaking news, Red Sox-Orioles at Fenway Park has been postponed due to periods of rain throughout the day. So no COVID, just rain. So that's good. The Clippers plan to sign DeMarcus Cousins pending health and safety protocol clearance. He would provide them some nice depth in the front court. Coming off the bench could provide them some nice minutes. And the last one for you is that Tyler Lockett and the Seahawks agreed to a 4-year, $69.2 million contract extension. That could make Russell Wilson happy and wanting to stay in Seattle. That is big time for the Seahawks as they lock up their young star wide receiver. Now we will recap last night's episode of The Masked Singer. It was pretty decent. I have some guesses for some of these contestants. Niecy Nash was a guest host again. We did not have a guest panelist this time. First up was Grandpa Monster. There's a Grammy in the package. There's a Santa hat. There's a W. Somebody that needed to get straightened out. Ended up being a castaway. There's a boxer clue in there. Like a glove. There's a jet. And there's a taxi. And he hinted about talking the talk and walking the walk. And he performed Bad Reputation by Joan Jett. And the clues of the week were Childhood Crush, the bonus clues of the week. And his was The Rock, Dwayne Johnson. My guess for Grandpa Monster, Tim Tebow. Ken Jeong went with Kevin Hart. Robin Thicke went with Jack Black. Nicole said Conor McGregor. And then Logan and Jake Paul. Piglet. Hints at football, locker, stretching, 3528, armor, competition with rivals. This could be some throw-off hints with all this football-themed package. He performed Good to Be Alive by Andy Grammer. His childhood crush was Meg Ryan. I have two names in mind, Ed Sheeran and The Weeknd. I'm going to stick with my original guess with Sheeran for now. I thought about The Weeknd while he performed Good to Be Alive. And the reason why I thought about The Weeknd was because of the football clues, because he performed in the Super Bowl halftime show this past year. Ken Jeong went with JC Chazé of NSYNC. Nicole went with Austin Mahone. And Jenny McCarthy said Jordan or Jonathan Knight from New Kids on the Block. Black Swan, there's a magnifying glass. They hinted about a love interest or somebody significant in their lives. A boat. There's a penny in the nickel, which is 6 cents. And there's a thank you envelope with lips. And she performed In My Blood by Shawn Mendes. This was a fantastic performance. Her childhood crush was D'Angelo. I have a new guess for this. I think it might be Fantasia, because I heard that raspiness that she has, and it made me think of her American Idol days. Nicole and Jenny both said Demi Lovato. Ken Jeong went with Lindsay Lohan. He probably owes them $50 for that, after mentioning that name. And Robin Thicke went with Ashley Simpson. The Chameleon went. This is someone that is very embracing. There's a diploma in there. There are peaches, which could relate to Atlanta, Georgia. Bonjour was a hint. There's fashion hints in there. Cheese. Hints about tragedy. There's some Taylor tapes. There's a rainbow brush. Maybe that hints to LGBTQ a little bit. And he said that everybody's proud of showing the true colors. And he performed 21 questions. His childhood crush was Sama. And my guess at the moment is Dwight Howard. Something that was a hint for me was the peaches. Dwight Howard's from Georgia. So I'm going to go with Dwight Howard. Ken Jeong had a ridiculous guess of Amon Shumpert. I think that he's not that famous to be on this show. That'd be ridiculous. Like, I understand Lonzo Ball because of the Ball show. The Ball's family's reality show. And the Big Baller brand. So it made sense for Lonzo to be on The Masked Singer. And then, obviously, Victor Oladipo, star NBA player with the Pacers. So that made sense as well. Nicole Scherzinger had a guess that made sense. Dwayne Wade. He lost somebody close to him not long ago. And I think that's a possibility. I like Dwayne Wade for this show. He's a big enough name. Former Miami Heat superstar, obviously. And Jenny McCarthy went with 2 Chainz. And then the wild card session. Then came out the crab. This is somebody that was famous fast. Somebody that felt like they were big time ASAP. They had tragedy hit. There is a broken mirror in there. Family trauma, 2 + 3 and a calculator. That equals 5. The Mona Lisa, and there's a lot of fish in there. And he had a very inspiring performance of Ain't No Sunshine by Bill Withers. I have a first impression guess, but I'm not going to give it away. I don't give away my first impression guesses on the show until the person is unmasked. His childhood crush was Miss Jackson, and he said that they grew up together. Maybe that this person grew up listening to Janet Jackson, or Janet Jackson was big time while he was growing up, or they just flat out grew up together. Ken Jung threw out 2 guesses, Lenny Kravitz and Bobby Brown. I think Bobby Brown's a pretty good guess. So is Lenny Kravitz. And Robin went with Johnny Gill. And who went home? Grandpa Monster. My first impression guess was Pittsburgh Steelers star defensive end TJ Watt. I just thought this was a young football player, and that was the name that came to mind because of the Fox connection, and a couple other things. And plus, he's a Steeler too. I think that's a big deal with them. And then my final guess was Tim Tebow because there's a Jet in there, and that's when it dawned on me, the Jets. He was a Jet. And then bad reputation. He's somebody that had a bad reputation because he was a disappointment in the NFL after Tebow time with the Broncos. Robin Thicke's first impression guess was Johnny Manziel, and that was his final guess as well. Jenny McCarthy went with Morgan Freeman as her first impression. Her final, The Miz. Ken Jung's first impression was Emmitt Smith. His final guess was Kevin Hart, which was ridiculous. And Nicole's first impression guess was Cam Newton. And her final guess was Jake Paul. And who was it? Jake Paul's brother, Logan Paul. Another solid get for the show. Logan Paul, obviously, a big-time star in pop culture. Him and his brother, Jake. He's a boxer. That's where the boxing clue came in. A good social media influencer as well, 26 years old. So, Nicole was on the right path, but she picked the wrong brother. Alrighty then. Now my best bet of the day, brought to you by FanDuel. I can't get over that the White Sox are minus 112 against the Angels tonight. I can't get over that. Why are they that big of or that short of a favorite? I am going to lay 5 units on the Chicago White Sox tonight. Against the Los Angeles Angels of Anaheim. That is insane. Insane that they're only minus 112. Lucas Giolito, Dylan Bundy, that's a mismatch. I get it, Noah Jimenez, big loss in their offense, but they're just way better than the Angels. I think the young kids will step up. Luis Robert will step up. Jose Abreu will step up. These guys have seen Dylan Bundy before with the Orioles. They know him. So I'm going to lay the minus 112 with the White Sox against the Angels for tonight. All right, so there you have it for the podcast today. I'll be back tomorrow recapping Major League Baseball opening day and looking ahead to tomorrow and the weekend's games. NBA and NHL will go over the games for tonight and look ahead to tomorrow and the weekend as well. Valero Open will go over the leaderboard. NASCAR, I don't think there's NASCAR this weekend because of the Easter holiday. Let me double check that, because if there's not, that means it's one less thing to talk about on the podcast. But it will kind of suck if we don't have it this weekend, but it makes sense because, obviously, of the Easter holiday. So, we won't see NASCAR until Friday, April 9th at the Xfinity Series in Martinsville. So, no NASCAR this week. So, you can scratch that off for the podcast. And then, obviously, latest news and notes and best bets as well. And we might get into a little bit of American Idol now that we're in the top 24. I hope you guys have a great day, everybody.